Hi, it's Melissa from Special Ed Law Mom coming to you today with another video about IDEA. And I'm using the book Special Ed Law by Pete Wright today. I have links for this book as well as another wonderful book from him called From Emotions to Advocacy in the description of this video. Best two books I bought to advocate for my kids and others, well worth the investment. And I have the Amazon links down below if you're interested. Um, so today I want to talk to you about reimbursement for private services. This is found in IDEA under 300.148. Um, and it talks about enrollment in private schools when FAPE is at issue. This can apply obviously for that, but I have actually been successful using this for myself and others in obtaining private services that the school won't provide. So, what it says is that an LEA, which is the school system, is not required to pay for private school services. But if there's disagreements about FAPE, free and appropriate public education, then they are subject to potential reimbursement if you follow specific procedures. And in that, it talks about that the parents at the most recent meeting have to have disagreed with the decision by the school system. In this case, it's referring to placement. And they have to let the IEP team know that they're rejecting whatever's being offered. And then at least 10 business days, including holidays that occur on business days, prior to the removal of the student from the school system, or in this case, in the case that I've used, prior to the date that you're going to start seeking reimbursement for services, you have to give written notice to the school system um, that you disagree. These are the reasons that you disagree. Here's the evidence to support why you disagree with their decision, and that you are going to be seeking reimbursement at their expense for private services. Now, there, like I said, there is no guarantee that they have to pay for this, but I believe that the 10 days was put in place so that it gives them time to contact you, possibly revisit their decision, lets them know that you're not the typical mom that's just saying, I disagree with you, but you know a little bit about the law and that there are procedures that you can follow that set the path if you decide to pursue this, even if you have to do it all the way through due process. So there are families that will file due process over things like this, especially if it's like private school, because that can be, 15, 20, $30,000 or more. Um, but it does set the stage for you to do that. So I have done this myself for my kids. I did it with ESY. So if you haven't seen my ESY, my extended school year video, I just put that up today. You'll want to check that out, because that talks about who's eligible, what do they have to consider, when does the decision have to be made, what if you weren't included in those things, or what they decided was you don't feel was appropriate, what recourse do you have? This is a great recourse that you can use, in basically giving them written notice that you disagree. You have to have done it at the most recent. I There can be limitations on how much you're reimbursed if you did not tell them at the most recent IEP meeting. But more importantly, if you were disagreeing in the IEP meeting and then you send a 10-day notice letter, and make sure that that goes to a decision maker in the district, such as your special ed director. Don't just send that to Billy or Susie's teacher or even the principal, because they don't necessarily have the authority to make financial decisions. Um, but if they know that you know to send this letter, then they probably have figured out that you know a little bit more than most parents, and you'll probably get their attention with it. So we did that, like I said, with extended school year. I believe that they were denying speech and OT during extended school year for both of my kids, which was crucial for them. They needed it all year long, but they didn't need it at ESY for some reason. And so we ended up using our private insurance to pay for it, which was helpful because then I only had to pay copays. But when it came down to them reimbursing, I didn't let them ride the coattails of our private insurance. I had them reimburse our private insurance, and they got to actually pay the cash price for sessions, which I think was at the time maybe like $120 a session. And we did those all summer times two kids. And it took some finagling and it took more than just the 10-day letter. I did not have to file due process, but we got thousands of dollars in reimbursement back. Actually, we didn't. Our providers did. Um, there's some technicalities with that, but we ended up not having to pay for thousands of dollars worth of services. The school system did instead. So if you want to know more, this is on page 215 of special education law. Really powerful stuff that you can do. There's a number of ways you disagree with the school. You can put them on the hook to pay for things such as independent evaluations, which I have a video on that on my channel, private services, private placement. Now, if it's like a smaller bill, um, some persistence can usually pay off and they'll pay for it. If you're talking private school that's 15, 20, $30,000 or more, you're probably going to have to file for due process. Um, and you should have probably sought an attorney before you did that to begin with. But for smaller stuff, even like extended school year stuff, you have nothing to lose by sending that letter. If you don't pursue it and you've used your private insurance, you probably were only out a copay, if that. But if you do end up wanting to pursue it, you've laid the groundwork that you can do that. So if this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Let me know anything that you'd like me to talk about. You can reach out to me at specialeducationlawmom@gmail.com. I'm a nationwide advocate. Attorneys have hired me to help them learn the law, do legal research, and provide consultation services. And I can help you. So I do offer a free 30-minute review of whatever you want me to look at. And then if I believe I can help you, we can talk further about how that would work. Join me on Facebook. I'd love to see you there. And I'm in lots of Facebook groups, so you might come across me there also. And until next time, make it a great day. Thanks. Bye.